Hey, let's go, Novanauts. We are going into Phyron in Nova. It is all open and it's game on. We just here sitting here ourselves. CMPS we've got, who else have we got? We've got Boop here. I think we might have Roma, Theo somewhere. And we're going into the top end of Phyron at the moment. We've just taken the first crossing and we'll just go through and we'll throw someone up just to swears the Star Weaver's quite good on crossing, so we're going to just fly in there a bit and see where we get to. And the race really is on. Let's go out and have a look, see where everyone's at. What have we got? We've got down the bottom here Arcos. They've got 30,000 left to get in on the first crossing, so we're slightly ahead of them. I think some of the boys from Theo and Roma are over here. They're having a little pop away at that one. What have we got? And oh my word, over here, who have we got going through? Ogrex are already into Nova. They are on their way. We're going to have a look at that in a minute. And down here we've got Arcos have taken the first one and they're working on the second one for Nova. 337,000 down. So the race is really on, seriously here. It looks like Arcos and Ogrex are having a real go for Nova. Well, let's see where Ogrex have got to on this. I'd imagine the Zorro's going to be in there, are they? Zorro, we've got Frog in here. Zorro, and they are already off and puffing. So Ogrex in the lead, Zorro and Frog. It's kind of about as exciting as this game gets outside of actual full-on PvP. I will probably come back and sort of record this periodically throughout the day and over the next few hours. We'll just give a few updates on where things are at. But as of now, Ogrex is in the lead, probably slightly followed by us going into Phyron, although I'd suspect that Arcos are not going to be too far behind on that one. Yep, they're almost there on the first crossing already. So I'll just take a break now and then we'll fill you in probably maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, it might be half an hour. It really depends on what the wife and kids need. So anyway, yeah, stay posted and we'll just paste a bunch of these together as we go along. So we are now about 34 minutes in here with Vanguard. We are still ploughing away at this T4 crossing point up here at the top. We're just gonna, I think, send a few more in. Who have we got? We got some throwing everything but the kitchen sink in here. We've got poor old Mjolnir stacked up with a few crushers. We're trying to use that at the moment. And we seem to be kind of, slowing down a little bit here. We'll go and have a look at how everyone else is doing shortly. Let's just throw in, we got our Moonveil here. We'll pop that in. We're still ploughing away. What do we got here? What's going on? Jono, 2 gold from the dailies. Oh my word, that's nice. Thank you. I'd forgotten about that. Let's go and have a look and see if we get anything here myself. Just while we're on, what are we going to get? A whole bunch of green. Oh my god, that is probably the best chest pull I've had in a very long time. Don't even know who that is. Eladriel. We're going to have a look in a minute. And another one. What have we got? Oh, Loki. That's handy. Haven't really been a big fan of Loki as yet. Haven't got him up to very good mastery levels, but anyway, we'll have a look. Let's just claim some of this stuff. For anyone who's watching the Battle Pass, you should be able to get all of this stuff by the end of the season, which is now 28th, 29th of January, as we discussed in a previous vid. So let's go and have a look, see how everyone else is doing. I'm imagining, yep, Arcos have got their first side of this crossing down here, slowing down a bit like us on the second one. But they are now through at Nova. Yep, 35 minutes in. I'm not sure how long ago they did that, and they will probably be steaming up towards Nova at the same rate Zorro are doing it in from the side. So what do we got going on? They're going out to 2 sides. They want to get a good spread here, I guess. And let's just scoot on up over here to where have we got? Sorry, oh my word, they're really spreading out everywhere. Zorro and Frog, and I'm not sure who else is in here with Ogrex. We got, let's just have a look. We got YSNP. Yep, there they go. Yep, Tesco. YNSP. Honestly, they are the stars of this server. I think there's only about 4 of them in there. I think let's go and have a quick quick check. We just sort of pop in here. You shall not pass. 10 of them. And the amount of tiles that they cover is unbelievable. I'm not going to stop raving about these guys because they're just so active with their accounts. It's amazing to see and getting really into the game. None of them are necessarily particularly powerful in PvP, I don't think, from what I've seen, but just so active, so engaged. It's really fantastic to see. And who's really pushing out here? That's Don. I think he said something in chat earlier. I'll be looking out for a video on this. Big shout out to Don. He's been here since the very beginning. Probably even back in the testing times and over a year ago now. And he's been really helping to push the game originally, and along with a lot of the Zorro guys in the sort of, I guess, the Web3 days, which are no longer. So yeah, there we go, 36 minutes in. Probably better get my ass back over to what I'm supposed to be doing. Let's have a quick look. Where are we? We are on the return leg. Let's just speed that one up a bit. Yes, I actually stocked up on a bit of gold ready for this. And so I just thought, yeah, it's probably time. I was down to about 5, I think, by the end of yesterday, and with not much more in sight. So I did decide to just stock up a little bit on that, and now we can just sort of speed these up slightly. We got where's their moon veil? There we go. Let's just send you back and get you ploughing in again, because frankly this has taken far too long. We're down to 80,000. I think we're doing a little bit better than Arcos down the bottom. I do wonder whether they're going to carry on and try and push through to get to Nova. They're a lot closer to it than us, and this is one of the things that's come up in some of the discussions, I think really in the Galaxy chat and some of the discords. If we actually look at this map here, the positioning of Phyron really there, it really does favour anyone who's here down the bottom and going in at this corner, because usually if you're going in here you've probably got Gamma Overlock already, and this is a lot closer to this border than any others. Nova is relatively equidistant. Nobody can reach it from one of the border areas here. But Phyron there seems a bit strange. Personally, I'd put it probably somewhere up around here so that no one can immediately get it the minute that they're in. So you'll see probably down here where we'll have a whole stack of Arcos ships, and they're really well base stations. They're really well organised, so you know, they know what they're doing. And yeah, so Deja Vu, I think that's some. That's an account run by one person running 2 accounts perhaps, and so that's really, you know, that's all siege and pathing, and that's going to be well within range of Phyron, so probably solo half Phyron on one account. And then we've got a whole bunch of outposts here all set up, and these will probably be some of the top players just with their siege sitting on standby, and they'll go in and they'll take Phyron. Whether they're going to fight us for it or not, I don't know. If you're in Arcos at the moment, you'd probably be trying to decide, right, am I going to fight Phyron or am I going to fight Nova? They're both absolutely equal to one another in terms of end of game, in as much as the season chapters seem to indicate. If we go in here, we go about the season, and oh my word, okay, so we've got 7 days left of the season now. So it's not finishing on the 28th, 29th, it's finishing on the 23rd of January, is that? Unless that's one of the kind of weird glitches that comes up in the system from time to time once the ranking system is done. So beware. We'll look out, we'll go and ask the devs about whether that's an actual countdown timer for the end of season or not. We'll try and get that confirmed. That sometimes does glitch after season 10 is completed. So we are now into chapter 10 is completed. We're now into chapter 11 in the season, and Nova and Phyron have been conquered. So that tends to indicate that they're both equal. And a lot of people seem to think it's all about Nova. Not really, no. And there's no end of season rewards anyway, as it is in terms of achievements regarding territories, capitals, and so on. Any one of the factions occupies 2 of 8 in total. Well, someone's actually got 2 of 8, naught of 2. So I don't think anyone's got one. No, not at all. Naught of 2 there. trying to think too much about what's going on in game rather than looking at those things. So let's actually just hop back up and carry on. In the meantime, my young son has been very kind and made me some hot dogs for lunch, so I'm just going to take a wee break from recording. I'm sure you don't want to watch me scoffing hot dogs, and we'll come back again a bit later and stitch the next one on. And so we are now about an hour and 20 minutes into the opening of the crossings, and we're trying to make a bit of an event of this. It's maybe not necessarily that fantastic. We here are about almost at the range of our bastion. I think my settlement's got a little bit further range here to go down the bottom. Towards Phyron, we're not going in a huge hurry. I'm not entirely sure if Arcos are going to contest it at this stage or not, and I'm just taking a few tiles on the way. And before anyone accuses me of being a tile hog, the reasoning behind this is simply that we've just had a new guy join us. He's an ex-Road to War player, very good friend of mine, and I'm dropping a whole bunch of tiles for him in the background. So before anyone starts jumping up and down about people tile hogging and so on, this happens quite a lot. You'll see it in your own guilds where maybe someone new joins, you want to get them up to speed, so one or two of us will elect to drop a whole bunch of tiles in a back zone that's not contested and take a few up the front. But other than that, we're generally pathing and leaving 200s and 230s for other members to come and grab as they go, and two of us are kind of leading the charge down here. One's off the bid fairly shortly, and I'll probably take on the rest of the path down here. So where are we at? This is obviously where we are at as Vanguard. We are also attempting to pop over to this area here and get a path going. I think one of my good Aussie mates is working his way slowly across here, well actually probably fairly quite rapidly, and that's simply so that we can then connect in a bunch of guys who are set up over here. There's just a couple of them all down this side here. They're having a crack away at this to see if we could get this open as well, but that's turned out to be a little bit of a dud. So where are we at? Let's go have a look and see what Arcos are up to. Just down there, we'll just flick through the map. Come on. And they are actually still trying to take this other side. Obviously not their first priority. The first priority for them is probably going to be taking on Ograx over in Nova. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see if they contest that region or not. At the moment, Tyrannus, I'm not entirely sure if they're going to be able to have a crack. Let's see if they're going to end up having a bit of a shared gate with Ograx on this. I'm not entirely sure, but it does look that way, yeah. So this would be, let's have a look. Is this Tyrannus coming in here? It is indeed. So Ograx and Tyrannus are actually going to share that crossing. Very decent of them to come to that arrangement, especially given that they were going at each other tooth and nail earlier on in the season. So that's a good thing to see. We're going to have Tyrannus, Ograx, Arcos and Vanguard all in the mix for Nova and Phyron. I suspect the big stoush is going to be here in Nova. So where are we up to in here? Let's have a look. Ograx are in here. They're coming out down there. Let's just pull out a bit. And they're getting close. Where are they going? All over the place. So they are probably almost at their limit there and going to be setting up some outposts, I guess, and going up the top here as well. And they're going to head in here. For our part, we're probably just going to try and knock away at our gate up the top here, and then really probably just the plan at the moment is just to kind of sit inside this here, have a footprint in here, and see where we get to and see how the fight's going for Nova in a day or two, and whether or not we get any PvP in Phyron. If we get to do some player versus player in Phyron and it does get contested by Arcos, that's great. If not, we'll switch over to Nova and probably work out who we're going to join up with in there, and see who's the sort of not doing so well maybe, and team up. I don't know how it's going to happen. Obviously all the diplomats will get together and work something out, one would hope, and come up with some kind of fair arrangement. Could end up as a complete free-for-all, could end up as a 3-on-1, but if we can work out, in my mind, a 2v2 for the whatever's remaining of the season, whether it's this six days and 23 hours that stays up here, or whether it's going through to the 28th, 29th, as the dev said, and I'm picking the 28th, 29th, and that this is just a glitch, then we've got a good solid week and a half, 2 weeks of full-on player versus player here in Nova. It's going to be our playground. So that's where we're at the moment, apart from just having a quick look to see where Arcos have got to. They're heading up, they're getting pretty close. At the moment they're probably the closest to Nova, I would think. Whether it's fully within their range, I don't think so. So each of Ograx and Arcos have got to put up at least a set of outposts and base up in order to get to Nova. Who's going to get there first, we'll see over the coming hours, and Tyrannus will be coming through, one imagines, fairly shortly. I'm not sure how much further they've got to go on this crossing here. Let's have a look. Have they got this or not yet? Let's just come in here. Is it, where is that? It's still Ograx held, but yep, Tyrannus having a knock away at that. So Tower and Lock, I think that is, will be coming in that gate too. Where they go to from there, I'm not sure. I don't necessarily know that's been arranged with Ograx. Looking at this spread here, you would have thought that they'd each have their own little area. But anyway, it'd be good to see all four groups in there. So yeah, stay tuned. We'll come back in a short while for you, and possibly a couple of hours for me. And so here we have it. We are almost 3 hours into the crossings opening, and we had first contact. Somebody very kindly pointed out in the Galaxy chat, and we have who do we got here? Arcos, Ganja Dark. We've got Ganja Dark, and here we have Frog, KZNN, and one assumes he's actually probably just taken that off an Arcos player. So there we go. It's begun. The big stoush for Nova is there. Let's have a just quick little look. It doesn't look like necessarily if Arcos are going for Phyron. Oh, they have actually finally taken the crossing on their side. So now they will be hot-footing it over to Phyron itself to get in range of that, because they can quite easily take that from their stations down here. So there's probably a bit of a race on there. They'll be racing across here trying to get up to there. I think they'll probably do that within the next hour and a half or so. We'll just have to wait and see. We've got basically, I'm the most forward at this point. Most of our guys are not online currently, and I'm just here, and I think that might be in range of Phyron, but certainly Arcos are a lot closer. I've still got an hour and 48 minutes before the first outposts build, so the race is on. I suspect that Arcos will get there quickest. Whether or not they can actually take Phyron itself within that time is another matter, and whether they can hold it or not for the next 3 or 4 days whilst fighting Zorro in Nova, I think that might be a bit of a stretch too far. The 4 major guilds here, 1 against 2 is probably not going to end up well for the 1. So hopefully we'll get to go in and we'll get to take Phyron, and so that's really the only update I think at this point in time, other than to just go around and have a little look-see where everything else is at. So if we just hop on over here, have Zorro and Frog and YNSP got any closer? No, I would imagine they're probably just basing up somewhere around here somewhere. Let's just have a quick look. Still not seeing. There we go. So getting forts up here. Those are potentially still building. I don't see much movement towards Nova. And how about Arcos? Where are they up to? Probably somewhere around here. And yet they got a massive fort base going up here. And then we've got a few further, just a little bit further forward. That'd probably be the guys just down on the borders here. As for our good selves, I don't think we've even moved into the inside of this yet. We'll go and have a look. I should probably actually go up there and take down some defenders on the crossing on the other side at some point if we need to do that still. 30 of 30, yeah, let's go in there and do that. Who have we got? I think we've got a Star Weaver over there. Let's put some officers on that. We'll put Michael in there. We're going to go for, who else have we got? Yeah, I think we'll get an extra energy attack. And we have got, who we got there? Sydney, that'll do. So we'll pop those in. We'll see if we can take some of the defenders out. Not sure we'll get all 30 of them, but we'll see. Let's just have a hit. Here we go, Star Weaver. Here we go. Probably not going to get very far. Might get out 10 or 20 of them, we'll see. But it might spur someone else on to do the same thing. That's about that. And Tyrannus, let's go see if they've got through yet. Are they on the other side of here? They are. So Tyrannus are now in as well. I'm not sure which way they'll be spreading out. Let's just see if we can find out. What have we got here? Dig Dug, Tesco Club Card. So where is the actual crossing itself? That'll probably give us a better idea. Just in here. Let's go. Freya, Frog. Still on Ograx here. Still got Ograx all around here. Yeah. So perhaps coming up the side here, maybe. No. Oh, where are Tyrannus? Where, oh, where? There's a kid's book once. Where, oh, where is Huggle Buggle Beer? Where, oh, where is Huggle Buggle Tyrannus? Coming down here, maybe. Yes, they are, Tower. On their way down here. Probably looking for some PvP fairly hot-footedly. They want to join in on the action here. Maybe they're going to go in and have a bit of a stoush with... maybe they're planning to have a stoush with Ograx for Nova and trying to force out Arcos, which, to be honest, that would be quite impressive. It will take both Ograx and Tower, I think, to take out Rog's Hive Mind and whoever else happens to be in Argos. They're pretty strong, pretty active. They've probably got about 50 or 60 actives in there. Last time I looked and we fought them inside Lucinda, so we'll just wait and see how that pans out. It's interesting times ahead. Anyway, that's me for now. I'll probably come back to you again a little bit later. Hey guys, and we are back, and we are at about 8 plus 6 hours 30. So yeah, so it's been 6.5 hours since the crossings opened. And where are we at now? Apparently I seem to be right up the front, hence the fort name Forlorn Hope. And if anyone's unaware of the term, going back some time, I think I'm probably 18th, 19th century, it was the crew that were volunteers to go in near suicidal missions, breaching after a wall was breached, or sometimes used as a sacrificial kind of rear guard. And yeah, I'm basically marching to certain deaths. I'm not too sure whether it's going to happen this way or not. But just looking at this is basically in Phyron, and we've got Jedi coming in here from Arcos. I think it's just Jedi. Oh, we've got some Rogs here as well. Now, I'm not sure if they're coming to help out or if they've been a bit sort of spanked around over in Nova. I heard messages that they had, but let's go and have a look. See, in here, it doesn't look like they've lost a lot of ground here. They've got HMVD, that's another Arcos one. Rogs seem to be doing quite well to my mind. But over here we have some battle pins. And what have we got here? Frog, Rog, Zorro, YSNP, Lock, Tower and Hive Mind. So they're doing pretty good. And here we've got Rogs, Lock and Tower. Let's just go in, have a quick look, see what's going on down here. What have we got? Those pins are notorious for being out of place, so probably the battle's going on up here. And we've got Tower J Mills there. He was with us to start with, but wanted a bit more PvP, and we took a day or two off, so fair dues to him. Mercurian's in here. So Tower are doing probably okay here. What have we got going on here? We've got a lot of... So basically this area over here seems to be Arcos pushing back against Tyrannus and doing quite well, it would appear. They've pushed back further than they were before. Originally they were back here somewhere, so they're doing pretty good. And what have we got up here? Is this Ograx? Yeah, certainly Ograx are getting involved too. So yeah, quite a sizable, healthy battlefield there. We're not, as I've mentioned earlier, we're not going to actually really get going in Nova for a little while yet. Let's just go up and actually have a look and see if anyone's close by it yet. And who have we got up here? We have got Ograx here. Who else have we got? Ograx, so Zorro, and who else? Mainly Zorro over here, is it? Zorro and Frog as well, so that's good to see. And up here we probably got Rogs, I would imagine. Yep, Rogs, so they're all lining up here. Over the other side here we've got Zorro, and somewhere up here we're just going to hold up in this position for now, let everyone fight it out for themselves for a while, and then we'll decide which team we're going in on. I think probably we might have some neutrality arrangements with one or two of them anyway, so that might may be forced on that. But anyway, yeah, we're lined up there. It's now actually time for my tea. We've got a nice butter chicken here at Casa del Silky lined up, so I'm going to go away and have a bit of a nosh, and looking forward to that. And then we'll come back and see what we're going to do out here. So thanks for watching, and I'll be back shortly. And we are now almost 8 hours in, and it looks like Jedi have been fairly busy up here. We got Jedi, we had a couple of Rogs up here. Oh, we got Asmo. Oh, it's Moonvale. Oh, it's not so bad. God, I thought it might be his Mjolnir for a minute. Let's just check to see if that's there anywhere. Maybe not. Hopefully not. Or I'm dead. And anyway, we are just going to try and clear up round here. We've got a bit of support from the team now. I had kind of steamed on ahead somewhat, and we're just going to have a little wander around here and see what we can pick up. Try and get rid of some of these reds. Nothing personal against them, it just happened to be in the way. So we'll just carry on here and see what we can get to. I'm not entirely sure what's happening elsewhere in the field right now. We can probably go and have a look at that a little bit later, but how we got here was just simply sending up plenty of, basically rotating plenty of small units, and we just had 3 outposts here which we steadily built up over the last small period of time. We'll just go through and upgrade some of those now. Let's just check I've actually got the resources for it. Yes, we have. A little bit light there, but let's get some more upgrades going here so that we can fully support ourselves. And I've just been rotating ships through, basically lining them up here on this tile and just sending them through. Put up a bastion for the rest of the guild. That's now built, so that's useful. And then we'll get a bit of a forward base going up the front here. That's going to build slowly. I've only got a few hours more left tonight, and hopefully the rest of the guild will pick up on that. But for now, we'll just go in and try and eliminate as much red as we can. And a lot of people complain about, oh, clearing all the tiles. That's the game. That's just part of the game. Just had a nice little kind of a little race with Big Al. I thought I was having a race with Big Al, who's another content creator. Got some very good vids up on his channel. You go and have a look at that. Big Al's Big Tips, I think that's called. Really nice guy, really solid, knows his stuff. And he just beat me coming up here to a tile I was trying to get to open this lot up. I sent him a quick message, said, oh yeah, damn it, laughing emoji on there, and he said, what? I said, oh, you just beat me by 2 seconds. He didn't even realise he was going for it, so that's a kind of welcome to my world moment as well. I'm doing that all the time. I forget what I've got going and where. We probably all do it, maybe, I don't know. Perhaps there are some far more organised people than me out there. But anyway, so we were just kind of moving in here now and seeing what we can do. What have we got sitting in here? We've got an Odin. Is that a good Odin or a bad Odin? So let's go and have a look. This is, where are we? Players war effort rank 245. I'm against the Goat and Odin. I'm not sure it really matters at all. I'm just going to send him a little widow to path it, and we'll have a look and see where we're at. What's my tile cap? Oh, I'm almost at tile cap 213. So whatever I do here, it's not going to be good. I think I've finally moved up, or managed to move up, sort of a kind of semi-siege unit. My Sunder, which is no longer used for anything else, is now full of crushers. So perhaps we will just play with him a bit. We'll send that up here. Who have we got there? Overlord sitting there. Okay, let's deploy up to here and see where we get to. Sunder, how long is that going to take? Bloody 20 minutes or something? Oh, God, almost, yeah. And I think my range from those forts is probably only somewhere around here. We've got a couple more going up just down the front here. One ready in 10 minutes, another 40 minutes. I forgot to put 2 up at once there. More full meat. So let's just see. I know certainly that from back at, where were we, this point here, I think I measured it from, I can go somewhere in the region. I think I counted out 50 tiles. It's probably around here somewhere. So we'll see where we get to on that, and it's not really much more to talk about other than the fact that we bumped into this this guy who's come from another game, and I'll just see if I can pull him up. A very friendly, decent guy, just kind of came in out of nowhere to Galaxy Chat and started generally chatting. I think it was Khan of the Skies, actually. Yeah, so these guys have come out from a game called Land of Empires, and they've apparently shutting down all the United States accounts, straight deleting them, and these guys are all looking for a new game. So let's hope we can get plenty of them into Rise to War. I think there's a whole guild of them coming in. They're gonna, hopefully, and they're gonna sit down in Stonar for the last week or 2 of this season and sort of learn the game. And we sort of mentioned to them the fact that actually, you come in now, the devs quite responsive to the players. They sit in some of the bigger Discord servers for the larger guilds and have a yarn and ask us our opinions on things and so on. So he sort of, they sort of went, oh yeah, that's super cool, eh? So yeah, anyway, mentioned the Khan of the Skies there. Hope you managed to get a bunch of you guys in. It's fairly small at the moment, but it's growing. Hoping to see some money pumped into the game sometime soon in terms of advertising and marketing, but I guess we're not crossing our fingers and hoping on that one. We're just going to have to wait and see. So now we've got a node in here. I'm just going to go and attack that anyway with my overlord and see what happens. Let's actually check. We've got some officers on him. His favourite problem of mine. Let's have a look. Okay, yeah, no, well, that'll do. It's not the best setup, but we'll go with it. So let's go and see where that goes to next. There's not really a great deal more to talk about at this stage, other than perhaps to just go and have a quick look at what's going on elsewhere. So over in Nova, the war pins have disappeared. I'm not entirely sure why that is, because there is ongoing warfare here, so I don't know how that's happened. Probably we just had a reload with a small update and it seems to have knocked them off completely. So let's just go and see if we can have a scout round and see what's going on. I think, or I suspect, that earlier on down here we had Tyrannus going, and Tyrannus down in the corner here having a pop at Rogs and HVMD Hive Mind, and then Ograx up the top. And where are we now? So Tyrannus Rob the Great and X-Rice War Player in here. We've still got a few of the Arcos guys up here. They've pushed out. Hanky's in there. Deja Vu. So how far have they got? So yeah, Tyrannus seem to be holding really in the holding pattern just up here. Perhaps they don't have too many players on at this time, or they've just been a bit slammed. What have we got? Who's got that? So that was Rob there, and then sitting on here we've got we got Ganja Duck. I think everyone's going to call themselves Duck now. We started off with Grey Duck and then it's gone up. So probably Ograx here. How far have they got? We just got a victory on that. So against that Odin. Frog are coming in here. And I can see now why Big Al was otherwise engaged. He's busy up in the front here blocking. And then we've got this really big cluster of Arcos here now. I think that's going to take quite a lot to move. I think Arcos is going to do relatively well here, and they think they had another setup going up here somewhere. Let's see who's around Nova at the moment. At the moment we've got Arcos around here. We had Ograx here earlier. Have they been pushed out? Yep, they surely have. And back here we've got a couple of guys from Ograx kind of holding the line there a bit. I suspect with Arcos activity levels, perhaps Ograx will struggle. Tower and Lock probably won't. They've got plenty of guys. So it'd be interesting to see how this turns out, and I'll be obviously looking in probably my morning, which is about 12 hours from now, to see how that has panned out. And I'll stick that in another vid. It'll probably be a bit of a wrap tonight for me once we've finished up here. Let's just go and have a quick look and see what we had there against this Odin. Was it a particularly good one? No, it's a level 30, so yeah, I kind of expect to win on that, but just, you know, so I feel a bit bad about that. Not really, because it's a strategy game and I need to actually get this cleared, but you know, 3-0, sorry, normally we'd probably send or get someone else to come up and fight there against you, but that's the way it goes. You've left your army out here full of troops, so yeah, it's going to get slammed, I'm afraid. And right, we can now go in here with my Widow and just probably take that tile there. And this is at 51. I don't really want to waste the Overlord's fuel on that at this stage. So what have we got up here? We've got a Ravager, and he's quite full. He might take a couple of pops, but he's only got a little bit of fuel left, so that's not going to help much either. Never mind. Not a lot to really sort of talk through in this at this stage. It's going to be a fairly straightforward clearing process for now. If it's not, and we do get some good PvP come up, and then I'll probably tag a little bit on to the end of this. I'll do a little roundup maybe in an hour or two before we sign off, stitch this all together and stick it up for people to view. So yeah, that's me signing out for now. I'll be back in maybe half an hour or so, and you'll see me in just another second. And so here we are, final one for what is now my night time, 11 o'clock here. We have been going for just under 11 hours. And finally here we are with Vanguard. We've managed to clear out Phyron, which I think I might have had a bit of a hand in. And we're just kind of working our way down here now. We'll hopefully clear up the rest of this, and then Phyron hopefully is going to be ours, but hopefully not in a way, because it's been sort of hasn't really been much of a fight, so we haven't managed to get too involved. So that's a bit of a shame. Picked up a little bit more on my war ranking, got that back up again, and not that I'm too bothered about it. What we really want is to have this place here done and dusted fairly shortly, and then we can come and join in the fight in Nova. So there we go. We've kind of got our, I guess, our share of what's on offer. Whether or not we take Nova as well as Phyron as Vanguard, I'm not entirely sure at this stage. It's kind of, you know, up for debate. Whether we'll even be able to is entirely up for debate. We could get spanked out of it by everyone else. But what have we got here going on? Let's actually come in here. Let's have a look at Nova. We've got Rogs and Zorro here. That's just a little battle. 253, 174 craft. Over here, strike craft use 1006, 331. That's a bit bigger. Jedi against Zorro and Frog here. Down here, getting a bit bigger, and a huge thing going on down here. Let's go and take a quick look at that one. We've got rather a big battle going on down here still, and let's just see. We've still got Lock and Tower down here still holding. I think that's Lock's Bastion, and probably Tower sitting just behind here. Yep, and let's see where they're at. They're pushing back against clearing up versus Arcos. That's probably the last few Arcos tiles there. Who's holding here? Arcos are holding the centre here quite nicely, and we've got probably tiles all around. Bit of a tile battle going on around here between Arcos and Tyrannus. And a bit further up here we've got Zorro coming in down the top here, and we've got, it looks like Commander Candy's there sort of holding the fort against Zorro. And further around the back here we've got Arcos probably coming up trying to get to Zorro's fort cluster, it looks like. So that's what's going on. That's where the main fight is. There's probably all sorts of smaller battles going on elsewhere around here. Let's just go and take a quick look at Nova itself and who has won the battle around here. It looks like Arcos are doing it, and they cleaned out all the way around, so they have gotten over here and pushed out. This was all Ograx earlier. We've got a few Ograx people hanging around here. So it's looking like at the moment Arcos have probably got the edge over a combined Ograx and Tyrannus over here, and I suspect that may continue for a little while. They're holding them at arm's length, so wouldn't be too surprised if I wake up tomorrow morning and find that Nova has actually gone, or is about to go, to Arcos, and it looks like they've pushed through. They completely decided to give up, I think, on Phyron altogether, and just putting all their forces in there. And let's just have a quick look here, because if we look at the factions here, I mean, they're on top, 2.7 million there, but you know, Tyrannus and Ograx, no slouches here, combined got sort of 4.5 million influence generation, so they should really be doing probably a little bit better in terms of the fact, you know, they've got a larger number of players. It's just a case of probably trying to get them up to the front there, and that's it. War rankings up there, no doubt people have been going up. Asmael, Asmael's probably left a few of his larger armies over in Phyron for us to have to deal with, so some of our smaller guys probably lost a little bit there. I certainly lost Big Star once to his awesome Dominus. Unfortunately only had a machiner handy at the time to try and take it out, and just, you know, couldn't be asked really with changing the troop composition around, and regretted it somewhat, and so yeah, got soundly spanked there. Grey Ducks up the top there. Jacob's doing quite well, has been all the time. There's not much changing in these rankings here, apart from little old me's just moved back up to 40 again. Managed to get a few hits in today, which is nice. Probably my second decent day of PvP since the season began. Yeah, reasonably happy personally about that. I can't really complain. Let's just have a look at the guilds. So we've got all our power in kind of one guild here and over here. We've also got a couple of other guilds working with us, Theo, Roma and Boot. Big shout out to you guys, you know, you've been amazing, always coming up and fighting as well alongside us, but you know, in slightly smaller numbers. So all in all, that's been the day. It looks like Nova currently is in the hands of Arcos, and we're controlling Phyron, and I'll just wait to see how that's going to look tomorrow when I wake up. So thanks for tuning in, having a little look through, and ka kite anō. Good night.